Hey y'all, it's Susan, and it is Friday. And I know I was going to get back on last night, but I did not do that. I just kind of relaxed last night and watched some Netflix. But anyway, so I got everything gessoed or painted, like I told you I was going to. So now I should have a bunch of pieces. And I'm not going to, I said this is a start to finish, and I'm not sure if a start to finish is like all in one video, or if it can be spread out into many videos, or, you know, maybe I should call it a process video. Anyway, so the whole point of this is to craft while we chat, basically. And so I am doing a SaCrafter animal carousel, and I have just roughly painted my wooden pieces to try to paint the edges, because I am going to paint them again. So I just basically wanted to get them primed, I guess you could say. And it looks like I got too much on that one. I got a big old dried gloop or glop or whatever you want to call that. I hope that's not a front piece, because it's a little rough. But you know what, if it is, we'll just sand it down, so not a big deal. And I have to logically think here on how I'm going to do this. And technically, I can probably put this piece together. Yeah, I can put this piece together. And this piece is actually going to show. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to get my paint real quick. I have several different types of paint, but this paint is, or not paint, I'm sorry, glue. This glue is my favorite. It's Elmer Pro Bond. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm having issues talking. So I'm going to use this, and I know this camera angle is not the most desired, so I'm still contemplating on that whole setup. So I don't know, we'll see how this goes with this angle view, and if it's just not really good at all, I'll see about, you know, getting something better, because I don't see that we're going to stop this anytime soon. I love this glue because it's soft enough to where it comes out smoothly, and it doesn't get stuck, or, you know, like it doesn't dry at the tip normally, and we're about to see, because I haven't used this in a while. So yeah, the tip is still good. It's a fairly liquidy kind of paint, but it dries, it kind of reminds me of super glue. Like when it dries on your hand, it has that feel of super glue. So it's a very good bonding glue. And you know, you can use any kind of glue, I guess, you know, like wood glue. I've never really used wood glue myself. So, you know, the real wood glue, but I'm sure that would work. Carpenters, I think, use it. So, and I'm just running a bead down through here. Alright, and once you put it in place, you'll want to wipe off the excess glue. So basically I just got some glue in there. Alright, let me think about this for a moment, because this is going to go down like that. So actually we really need glue on both pieces. So let me go ahead and put some glue on this one too. And it's not like this is going to be manhandled or anything, I don't think, so I'm probably going a little overboard on the glue, but you know, just in case. Alright, so I'm probably going to have some glue squish out, but that's okay. Alright. So now all I have to really do is just leave that alone. I'm going to get my excess glue off there, though. I don't recall if this glue dries flat, if it's got extra stuff. But just in case, I'm going to go ahead and get the extra off, so I don't want any bumps. And it would probably be good if you have some type of a clamp, which I'm not that organized. And you know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use this piece and just use that as a clamp. Sorry, I just used that little piece there that came with it to use it as a clamp. because that'll pretty much, that should hold it in place. And here's an even better one. It shouldn't stick, technically. If it sticks, I'll have problems. You know what? I think I'm going to take off that big one and just use that small one. Alright. And if your glue is wet, you'll want to make sure that your wooden piece doesn't get stuck to it. I don't think it is, so I think I'll be okay. Alright, so I'm just going to use that to kind of hold my pieces together there. They look like they're pretty good, so that glue should bond it and I should be fine. Alright, so I'm just going to put that over to the side. And another thing too, you probably want to make sure it's actually flat. Okay, it is. Alright, so we have the top, which is the one with the large hole and the one with the medium hole. And then we have the bottom. No, sorry, this is the bottom and this is the top. And I have an idea maybe for the top. Let me think about this for a minute. Wonder, oh, you know, that won't quite work, what I was thinking. And as you can see, my paint is kind of causing a little bit of grief, but it's not too bad, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to have to work those pieces into place real gently. So you want to be real careful when you paint those pieces. Alright, so I just want to think what I'm going to do here. Alright. So what I need to do is I need to make a template of this. And I think I have, let me grab a piece of paper. If I make a template, it's going to be much easier to cut my designer paper. And that's probably what I'm going to do with whatever I can make a template of, like specifically in regards to the animals. I'm probably going to make a template of that as well. Let me put my glue away. And then I have a piece of white paper, so I don't know if you really need to see this. I'm just going to trace it on here so that I have an adequate template that I can use. And this will make it a lot easier when cutting the paper that I'm going to use. Now, if you already know what paper you're going to use, you could make your template right on your paper. But since I don't really know yet, I am going to just make sure that I have a template just in case. Okay. And I do believe all of these should be the same size. Let me just make sure so that I don't have any travesties occur. Yeah, those are all the same. Okay. So, these two are the top, and these two are the bottom. And I'm just thinking to myself here, I think I will go ahead and put these pieces together. Now, we already did a dry fit, but I'm going to go ahead and do another fit before I commit. That sounds like an OJ thing. Sorry, that's the era I come from. You're going to do another fit before you commit. Sorry, that's really not funny at all, is it? Alright. So, just make sure that everything fits okay. And the painting on this part didn't really hurt it too much. But you know, I do find there's definitely two sides on this stuff, y'all. You got to pay attention. Because it seems to me like some pieces may be longer. Some sides may be longer, possibly. I'm not sure without breaking the ruler out. Okay. So you just want to make sure your ends meet properly. And I don't see my little my X, but, and I think that might be because, maybe I'm completely upside down. See, that's a little bit off right there. I think there could be a piece that's longer, but I don't know for sure. Let me see. Nope. They're all the same. Okay. Yep. I think if you just make sure your ends match up, you will be okay. Just pay attention. But really, Saw has the best videos. And so the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't need to redo what she's done. It's just to hang out and talk with y'all and craft while I'm doing that. And so I did a little more research on my Treasure Coast, and I did notate some of the things that I felt like I may have missaid on the video itself. Alright. Okay, so that looks good. Alright, that is perfect, y'all. That is perfect. So now I just have to make this perfect. Oh, you know what? Oh, one important thing. The hole. The hole is different. And I really prefer not to fight with it. So, what I'm going to do, this is how I do, this is the first time I ever took a laptop apart, I put things in order that I pulled it out. So I'm just going to lay these down like this, because I know that all these fit perfectly like this, okay? And I'm going to think about this for a minute. I'm going to have this is going to be on the top, and this one's going to be on the bottom. And I need to template that hole, or else I am going to struggle with it. Alright, so there's that hole. Let me make sure. Okay. So I think what I might do is when I cut the paper, I'm going to adjust my hole each time. I don't know, y'all. I'm just making this up as I go. Alright, so I got that hole. It looks a little off, but I don't have to do. Alright, and then and then I got that hole. So this is basically what I did. Okay? It's not perfect, but we'll see. Alright. Now, so this is the right way, and this is the top, and this is the bottom. And these pieces go on like so, right, or like so. Uh-oh, I'm having a moment. It must be like this. is not the right way. Alright, and this looks like this is probably the right way. So, that paint might have messed me up a little bit. Or else I'm going the wrong way. Or else I have the wrong pieces. Okay. Yep, that goes first, and that goes second. And it has to go this way. So, yeah. So if the piece doesn't fit, don't force it. Alright. And all I'm doing here is I'm just trying to make sure that my sides are flush. I'll show you what I mean once I get this on for the first time. Yeah, see, that interestingly enough does not go on that way. So I think that it must go on that way. Yeah, that actually looks perfect. Alright, see how it's like perfectly in the corners right there? If you don't have it on there the right way, then it won't be flush right there, and you want it flush. I am not gluing yet. I'm just making sure that this is the right thing. Okay? So, this glue, like if you use some sort of a hot glue or something, you're kind of committing. I don't know how easily that would be to do. I've never used hot glue for this application, so I've only used wet glue. So my glue does dry pretty quickly, but I still think it's wet long enough that if you have to change it, you can do that. It's a little forgiving. Whereas some wet glues take a really long time to dry. So, alright, this one may have gotten too much glue in there. Let's try a different one. See if it works in a different one. Because I'm pretty sure that's the side it needs to go on. Yep. And I need something. Sorry, y'all, do not do as I do. Do not use a knife. Knives are dangerous, okay? Alright. Do not use a knife. Alright. And you could just use a nail file in there to get the glue off. It's definitely, it wants to go on this way, but it's definitely not. Let's see how that looks. Let's see. I think that is not right. See how there's a little bit of a gap there? So it's got to go on the other way. Has to. So somehow, some way, without breaking it, that thing has to go on there. And I just really don't see that happening. Okay. Let's just move to the next one. We will come back to that. Alright, that does not look right, so it's got to be this way, I think. Let me make sure there's no dried glue on here. Interesting. I'm certain that is the way. Do not do as I do, but I see a little bit of a lip on there, and you can, like I said, you can use a nail file. There we go. Let's try it. Yep, much better. Okay. See how that's perfect right there? There's no gap. Okay. And that looks to be about the right side as well. Huh, interesting. So if you have any problem with that, just kind of shave it a little bit, because I'm seeing that that is actually helping me quite a bit, and it comes off very easily. So don't shave off too much, just shave off a little bit if you see that there's a little ridge there. And make sure that that's actually the piece that goes in there before you do that. Sorry, I should not be using a knife on video. I use that knife for everything, though. I'm a knife user, I guess. So, I don't know. Use the tools that you're comfortable with, right? Alright, so see that one fits on there perfectly. And I can see where it's a little puckered, and it may be because when I put my pieces on, maybe I wasn't as careful as I should be. So you just might want to, if you see that it's kind of just puckered a little tiny bit, you see that how it's just a little bit puckered? And that's probably because I didn't put my pieces on right the first time. That, you know, when you're trying to put them in, it kind of works them loose a little bit. That's okay. Just use a nail file and just sand it down a little bit, and that little pucker will go away. See? All right, and I think that should be the right side. Yep, I do believe so. I believe that is right. Okay, I do believe that is correct. Alright, so just make sure, there's my X. Make sure that this goes in there. It's not liking it that way. There. Much better. I believe. That's perfect there. That's perfect there. This one's not perfect. And this one's not perfect. So, what this is probably telling me is that this piece may not be on right. Which I find that interesting, but it's okay. Alright, not that way. Alright, I'm not seeing it fit that way. Those are all fine, but these two are not. Okay, so it may be This is not on there right. See why it's important to dry fit it first. And let me see here. Not right. It's not right. I wonder, you know, I did the X's. I got an X in there. Where are all my X's? I can't see them. So there's a little bit of a gap there. I think maybe this piece needs to turn around. Possibly. Oh my goodness, perfect. See? Yeah, I love putting these together. This is what I enjoy. I love puzzles. If you love puzzles, you will love this as well. Uh-oh. I think it's time to go back from lunch. Anyway, so we got this piece together, and I may edit it a little bit. I'm not sure. I might let you see the whole thing, but I've got to go back to lunch, and I will work on this later, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Good morning, y'all. It is Saturday, and this is Susan. Crazy for Dolly is my channel. I don't know if this is going to be a new video or if it's going to be part of the previous video, of which we just fitted all of our pieces for the bottom piece of the carousel. And it is fitting perfectly, so what we want to do now is gently take apart, just had an epiphany, y'all. Yeah, okay, it'll be fine. What I was thinking was you just want to make sure that any of these inside parts, if they're going to show, that you'll want to cover them before you do anything, but this is going to sit like this, so it'll be perfect. Okay, so since we have this fitted, and it took us a little bit of time to get it fitted, but not really that long in the whole scheme of things, what we're going to do, is we're going to check our little stand that we did. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's adhered, and my little thing did not stick, thank goodness. And yeah, it looks good. It's pretty sturdy. Okay. Alright, so I had all night to dry. And I'm going to take this apart to the best of my ability. And we're going to glue these pieces on. And of course it's a little tough. And just like I said, how I work on computers, I just going to take it apart and leave it in the same exact location. Because I want this to be my first piece. Okay. Alright. Just be careful when you're taking this back apart, because you don't want anything to break. That would certainly hurt your feelings. Alright. Okay. Alright, my arrow is right here. And a little arrow right here. Just so we don't have any surprises when we put it together. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to glue the side and the edges right here. So that's what I'm going to do. And sometimes when this glue, I just kind of do like that. I just kind of tap it. That's why my desk is such a hot mess. But anyway, so I'm just going to glue. Come on down. There we go. So you see how you get a nice little line on that glue? I like this glue for that reason. And it also dries fairly quickly. But see, it's so soft that it evenly coats it, and you don't get a lot of those big gloopy spots. So, there we go. And when you do take this apart, you'll want to make sure that you don't have any of that little fluff on there. That way you're not fighting with the glue on there. And I'm just going to get my excess glue off there. Alright, so today is Saturday. It's about 8:39, and it's a quiet morning. My husband's in there doing his email, and he is going to take me for sushi today, so that sounds like fun. And he even added that there was a Joann's in the vicinity. He's so sweet, isn't he? I'm a lucky girl. Alright. Just want to make sure that that is flush as much as it can be. See, there we go. Just make sure your pieces are placed in there properly. Okay. And I've never really had to take this glue apart, so I don't know how well it comes apart if you make a mistake. But I do find it holds really well. And like I said, it does stay wet for a time period. And see, I did not check, but it's going in there. I didn't check to make sure that my edges were flat. But it went in there okay. Alright, and you see I have my little arrows in there telling me which pieces. Just because I want, when I put this in, I just want to make sure that it's going to be lined up properly. And I'm actually going to dry fit that before I put it in finally, so. I got a little bit of a gloopy paint thing going on right there. And that'll probably be okay, but you may, if you find you have some of those, you may want to sand those pieces with a little nail file or something before you glue it together, because you certainly don't want to be fighting with that when it's put together. It'll be difficult. Alright. Okay. Got 2 more pieces. So far, so good. And I do see there is a little bit of an edge right there, so I'm just going to get that off real quick. Okay. So it's already crazy hot outside. Just make sure I got this going the right way here. Oh, I think I just got glue all over my face there. Nice. And all over my nice little tie-dyed shirt. Alright. My tie-dyed shirt, when my husband's, I better check my glasses to make sure I didn't get any on there, because that would, like I said, this stuff is like super glue, so if it's on glass, it's not a problem to get off at all, but on anything else, and that's what it's made for, it's made to adhere really well to other materials, so you just want to kind of be careful with that. my arrow is right there. And it looks like I got a little glue there. So yeah, these tie-dyes, my husband's grandchildren came to visit, and his kids, and that was one of our family projects. Everybody got a tie-dye shirt, and we also tie-dyed little canvas bags. It was messy, y'all, so you have to do it like outside or something like that, but we had so much fun with that. That was a lot of fun. So anytime I wear this shirt now, I think of them automatically. Alright, so we have all of our pieces in, and my arrow is where? Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay, so my arrow is there, so technically this should just drop right in. Let's see if that's the case. Because if not, we'll be moving some stuff around. It's not really liking it that way. Though my arrow is right there. There we go. Okay, so that's the side. So we will go ahead and I'm going to lay this down because that's the way it's going to go in. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to glue this piece because I need to get glue here and here. So I'm just going to put, I have an X here, so that's going to be our point of reference. That the glue actually goes on the underside of the side with the X. So, and we still have our arrow right here. And our arrow right there. Let's just make sure. Yep. Alright, that is it. Okay. Alright. So, yep. Yeah, okay. Just making sure, y'all. Because once you get the glue on this entire piece, oh, there it came out. See, it made a mess too. It's not a real runny consistency, but it is a nice consistency. So once it starts going, which I had it, I just don't like to squeeze too hard because then too much glue comes out. If I were to squeeze it hard, it would come out in globs. So I just like to get a very little bit on there. Alright. And with this much glue in, this thing won't go anywhere. It'll be put together forever. Which I guess is the whole goal, right? And our arrow is here, and our arrow is there. So technically, this should just slip right in there. There we go. Perfect. Alright. So that was a success, I do believe. Alright, I just got my excess glue off there, so that's our piece. And don't worry about these gaps. There's many things you could do with these gaps. You could put gemstones in there. You could, which I think is what Saw did. She used paper around the side, which is what we might do. Haven't completely decided yet. I'm still working that out in my brain. I have a lot of ideas, so don't worry about those. So I guess the next piece we will work on is the top piece, and I think that will be okay. Though, honestly, the treatment that I was thinking to use on this, I might actually not do this yet. Okay. So what I was thinking we would do with those pieces particularly, I had an idea. I have a couple different things. Let me see. Where is my mediums? I have a glassy medium and I have an iridescent medium. Let's see. Yeah, so I have this iridescent medium, and then I have, where is it? Mod Podge. It's somewhere safe, y'all. What did I do with it? I have modeling paste and oil. Oh, guess what? I had gesso. I knew I had gesso. I need to put that somewhere where I can see it. Okay, what did I do with that glass? I'm sure that I had the glass medium. But I am not seeing it. Okay, so I have this modeling paste. And I have this iridescent medium. I wonder... I'm going to put y'all on hold for a minute. I'll be right back.